Well, honey, what are the 3 rules of Mogwais?
Don't give them Coke.
No! No. No bright lights, no water, and no feeding them after midnight. Hi guys, welcome back to the Charming Analysis Podcast, and welcome to the Christmas Palooza for 2025. I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And today, for our first video for this year's Christmas Palooza, we're going to be talking about Gremlins and Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Fun fact, Jay's never seen the Gremlins movies, so I was like, not today, bitch. You gonna watch them with me. We're gonna enjoy them together. Also, since they're revealing a third movie coming out, we decided let's review these 2 first. And then whenever the third one comes out, we'll review it as well. Sound good?
Sure.
But yeah, why don't you explain what Gremlins is about, honey?
So like one of those things where like a mysterious creature comes into a person's life and it wreaks havoc into their life, and it's one of those movies.
Basically, a guy ends up stumbling upon a mogwai, which is a little tiny creature.
You explain these better than I do.
Fine, I'll explain it. So basically, Gremlins is about this inventor guy who ends up finding a creature called a mogwai in the Chinatown of his city, and he gives it to his son for Christmas. And son does not listen to said thing, even though he protects Gizmo with his fucking life. Hell breaks loose. And chaos ensues, basically. That's basically the gist of the first movie. Kind of deal. Okay, so we're going to talk about this first one, then talk about the second, and then rate them as a whole.
Okay.
And we'll rate them individually as well. So, what did you think of Gremlins? Because you've never seen the Gremlins movies, and as soon as he told me that, I'm like, we're fucking watching them this year. Because my bean has not seen them before.
And you have.
I've seen them like a bunch of times, like back in the day. Oh, I see the pretty kitty stretch.
So this was like childhood movie type thing.
Well, not childhood. I kind of saw it in my early teens, but I've seen the movie before. It's a beloved Christmas movie for a lot of people. Well, movie that takes place around Christmas. So for Christmas Palooza stuff, for those who don't know, basically, it's kind of like how we do our Halloween Spectacular stuff, where we pick like different things throughout the month and we review them and stuff. So normally Christmas Palooza ones is basically either Christmas movies, winter-themed movies, or movies that take place around Christmas. It doesn't have to necessarily be a Christmas movie, but it has to be one of those 3. And since this does technically take place during Christmas, it counts as a Christmas movie and something we would rank. Right, honey? So yeah. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what the Gremlins movies are. So what did you think of the first one? Because I think it's a cute movie.
You think it's a cute movie because Gizmo was in it?
I can't help he's fucking adorable. Everyone loves Gizmo. Come on. You can't deny that pretty little face.
He's fine. He's a fine, cute character. But I also think he's stupid. I also think he's a little stupid.
Well, that's not his fault. That's okay. He can be a little stupid. He deserves to be a little bit. Okay. You gotta have something to balance that out.
That's the only thing I really care about in these movies is fucking Gizmo.
I think everyone does.
Like, he is a cute character for the sake of them having a creature design. And for it to be, like, fucking everywhere, apparently. I don't know how big of a hit Gremlins is, but, like, definitely that fucking toy is. I thought the first one was okay. I did, like, think that it was, like...
Would you believe the budget was $11 million?
11 million?
For the first one.
Yes, I would. Because movies were dirt cheap back in the day compared to now.
Also, this came out in the early 80s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I thought it was going to have a little bit more, I guess, oomph to it, more likely. But I should expect probably a lot less.
From the 80s.
From, like, I should probably expect a lot less from older movies in general. Because, like, it's weird. Like, you can categorize the type of movies per decade. You can see which ones they're coming from, and you told me that this was from the 80s. I'll be like, yeah, I believe you.
It's from, like, the early 80s.
Yeah, I believe that it's from the fucking 80s. Like, Jesus Christ. But I don't think that it's, quote-unquote, all that memorable, I should say.
I can understand, like, it's kind of a taste.
Like a creature feature without... But, like, the creatures in general were just...
It's technically a horror comedy.
Yeah, it's a horror comedy.
If we're going to be technical about it. Because that's what it says on Google.
I didn't really, like, even though, like, it wasn't really all that, like, amusing to me. I was just watching the movie and I was just like, I mean, it's alright, but it's not leaving, like, really that much of a big impact on me. Like, it's a creature feature, but I couldn't really care about, like, the people getting hurt. I couldn't really care about, like, the quote-unquote monster, because, like, it's a whole bunch of, I guess, like, the size of these creatures, they're fucking, like, 2 feet tall. Like, you could fucking roundhouse kick them if you wanted to.
Well... Gizmo basically is probably the equivalent to, like, the size of a teddy bear, while we're going to call them mutated gremlins. The mutated Mogwai / gremlins are basically probably, I'm being generous, probably up to, like, your knee kind of deal. I think if you count the ears, probably up to their knee.
Little menaces, and they can, like, have opposable thumbs, and they can, like, you know, they're kind of like crazy, like, monkeys in a way.
Yeah, in a sense. They're kind of like it.
But, like, it wasn't really much, like, in terms of just wanting to destroy shit. And I'm just like, okay, it's like one of those creature features that they just want to destroy stuff, and then they don't really, like, care about humans unless they're in the way. I didn't really find that, like, the threat wasn't, like, scary. It wasn't really all that funny. It, like, sometimes it cut to them, like, way too long, just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff on the camera. I'm just like...
Which I can understand that. Okay, well, don't forget, like, this is, like, revolutionary for the 80s. Like...
I did like the animatronic, the puppetry, whatever they did with bringing them to life. I think it's, like, a mix
between... I personally think it's a mix between puppetry, animatronics, and claymation. At least for some parts. Like, I'll use the first movie as an example. Like, a lot of the times where you don't see, like, the legs down, that's basically, like, puppets. I'm pretty sure Gizmo's an animatronic from what I know of. I'm pretty sure. And remember the scene where they're all walking? That, like, all walking in, like, the little group. That has to be claymation. Like, there's some parts you can kind of tell, like, at least in the first one where you can, like, they blend it a lot more into the background in the first one, so you can't really, like, tell the difference kind of deal. But yeah, is it my favorite of the Christmas movies that I've seen? No, but I do think it is a good movie, though. Do I think it's the best one out there? No. But it is a cult classic, technically. And I feel like the reason that this does such a success has to be Gizmo. Like, he's probably the reason this movie got so popular, which is a good thing. Like, get your cash where you want to get it, you know? But do I think it's the best movie out there? No, but I do think it is good. I'm not hating on it, because I think Gizmo's fucking adorable, but most of the time the first movie is just the the mutated Mogwai / Gremlins just destroying everything. To destroy everything. So, I'm assuming this is just their way to kind of show, hey, it's the 80s, look at the shit we can do, kind of deal. Kind of like the equivalent of, oh, in today's age, oh, we got cool 3D technology, look what we can do with it, woo, kind of deal. But, plot-wise, it's pretty simple. It's a simple premise, and they fuck it up within, 10 minutes. Not even, 5-10 minutes. It goes batshit crazy. I feel so bad for Gizmo. He basically gave birth, twice. This poor baby gave birth twice. And in a sense, they kind of reproduce asexually, in a sense. Which I also think is a unique concept. At least for a character like Gizmo. So Gizmo's basically a parent, if you think about it. But he's the only responsible one out of everybody, kind of deal. Other than that, there's not really too much to say about the Gremlins movie. It's pretty simple. And at the end, the old guy that basically had Gizmo in the first place basically takes him back. So you kind of get the sense of, oh, you guys fucked everything up. Here, I'm taking this little guy back. Even though, aw, kitty stretch. I saw that pancake. That was a cute little stretch. Anyway, I could see what the popularity of it is. But yeah. Other than that, it's a pretty simple movie. Simple premise. Gets the job done. I personally give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's good. It's decent. I think Gizmo is a cute character. I do feel like they could have done a little bit more for it being the 80s. You could have had at least a little bit more plot than you did. Or at least, more depth to said plot. But other than that, kudos to the movie. It's, great.
I give it a 4. I found it kind of,
Okay.
Yeah, I also kind of found it a little bit, bit boring.
And I can kind of see where people can kind of get lost in that, because I get that, completely. I'm kind of the same way with, the first movie. I feel like the first movie could have been a lot better. This is one of those circumstances where, in my personal opinion, the sequel is honestly better than the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Personally. I actually like the second movie more than the first one. At least for this franchise. I think it's still good, but second one, in my opinion, is a whole lot better.
That's because it's not even a, real sequel.
Well, it kind of is, technically. But yeah, you give it a 4?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now we're going to talk about the second movie. That I'm not trying to talk about Joe Dante. There we go. So the second movie came out in 1990, so it basically came out 6 years after the first one, which is kind of crazy if you think about. So this is basically a 90s movie, and it's PG-13, while the first one was PG.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing, though, this is a horror fantasy, is what Google says. And you want to know what the budget was for the second movie? $50 million! $50 million.
Yep, how else are they going to pay for the
acting and the cool shit?
For the copyright laws.
Well, that too. Anyway, so, the sequel's basically called Gremlins 2, The New Batch. And it's basically about, I'm assuming couple years later. I don't think they necessarily said how long it has been since he's last seen Gizmo. Let's assume it's
6 years later.
Since it's 6 years apart from the first movie, let's just say it's at least 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of make it a bit more simpler. So, it's been a bit since we last saw Gizmo. His previous owner died, who was the old Chinese man. He died, and this company is basically trying to destroy all of Chinatown and make a new Chinatown, in a sense. or at least make a new community within the old Chinatown.
They're gentrifying Chinatown.
Basically. So, Gizmo is caught in the wreckage of this. He ends up getting taken to said company and experimented on by scientists, people that are in the facility. And basically, they're trying to get Gizmo out of there without being seen. He ends up getting wet, and apparently, this new batch of Mogwai/Gremlins are even crazier than the last time, which is interesting. I'm still surprised how interesting it got. But that's basically the gist of the second movie. Compared to the first one, which took place in an entire town, this one takes place in a singular skyscraper in New York City. So, first thing I'm going to say, because I'm going to give my thoughts first, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
First off, way better production. I did not mean to scare you, Pancake. I am so sorry. She, turned up so quick. Way better production than the first movie. Let's put that out there. Second, this is just a personal opinion to me. Because in the first movie, I feel like they made a lot of, the clone Gremlins, Gizmo's kids, in a sense. Because basically he gives birth to them. So, the batch of, characters from the first time, a lot of them literally look just like Gizmo. Minus, a few details here and there. Obviously, the one not named Stripe, who's got the big-ass fucking mohawk. He's, the only main different one. They looked really similar to Gizmo in the first one. Which, if you're gonna make the clones, I feel stand out. I feel like they could have, made them a little bit different. This movie actually improves on that. First off, I don't know who designed the Gremlins for this movie, but they look so much better than the first movie. They're black and white, and you have some distinct characteristics between a lot of them. So you basically have Stripe in a sense. You have this really crazy one, then you have a really stupid one, and then you have one that kind of reminds me of the Brain from Pinky and the Brain in a sense. You know who I'm talking about? You kind of have those guys at first. The good thing about these versions of the Gremlins is that they actually make them look different than Gizmo. They give them distinct personalities and characteristics. And I fucking love that. That's the first thing I give this movie props for. Especially when they first are found out. Something else I will say about this. I actually like the mutated Gremlins way more in this movie than the first one. They look amphibian-like.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was an interesting twist to how they were in the first movie. The first one, they looked very grotesque, but you couldn't tell the difference for most of them, except that they wore different clothes. And I'm pretty sure for the other ones that they didn't have any female ones that I know of. I don't think so. You can't really tell the difference between a lot of them in the first one. While the second one, you have clear, distinct differences between most of them, which is good. They also had one that was a female one, which I thought was fucking great. We actually got a female one. I was happy about that. And it gave us a little bit of a different twist to it compared to the first movie. That's one character that stands out. We also get one that fucking talks. Which, I actually like the voice of the guy that plays him. The talking one. I thought his voice was fantastic. You also had a gargoyle one, which I thought was unique. You have a lot more unique ones in this movie, which I think is something that the first one definitely missed.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I liked about this movie is the fact that we get a central location for this one instead of the entire fucking town. I feel like depending on the movies you do, some of them suit more of a single location, while some suit more of an entire town. Or more than the scale of an entire town. first movie I feel like could have scaled it down. But at least for the second movie, they did it good because the building is so big and it has so many different like areas in it. It kind of seems like its own little world. So, I originally thought this was a mall when I watched this as a kid. I didn't realize it was a big fucking cable building.
Well, I don't even know what the building's supposed to be.
But
like, what is it?
So, I guess
like
it's a variety
company?
channel. It's a company that does like variety.
That does TV.
Yeah, a TV company.
But they also do like agriculture.
Experiments.
And build things. And they experiment on animals. And like they have different departments for different, I guess that is what a building is.
Oh
different departments for different things, but like these are totally different fields
for one building.
Like why are like why I don't understand this building. It's a character in and of itself,
which I think is a good thing, especially for this movie, that the building is basically a character in and of itself as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it a lot more stand out than how the first movie did, where you see like a couple locations, but they don't really have like their own identity.
Mm-hmm.
Which this kind of movie I feel like kind of needs that.
Mm-hmm.
But enough of me yapping. What did you think of the second movie? Because personally, I like the second movie better than the first. I think it's a lot better and it's a lot more interesting.
I think like it is a lot more entertaining than the first one, maybe because it just didn't take itself at all like
too seriously.
It almost felt like it felt like a parody. Like, we're gonna do a parody, but we're not just gonna do it with Gremlins. We're gonna do it with just movies in general, and we're gonna parody different movies. We're gonna break the fucking fourth wall. We're gonna do all that. And I'm just like, this does not work as a sequel, but it's so much more entertaining than the first one.
Yeah, like, I will definitely agree with you on that one. It's not really, like, a proper sequel, but it's still a sequel nonetheless. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which I feel like is a good thing, in a sense. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, in some aspects, it's a good thing because you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want with it, but at the same time, they don't really stay too much on topic with this movie compared to the first. You still get the whole, like, you don't do these 3 things kind of deal, but some people were kind of questioning that shit, which I can kind of understand that, especially because this took place 6 years later, in a sense. So no one's really seen these, and I think it mostly took place in that one town, so probably no one else knew about it, kind of deal. Like, you know how like, sometimes a certain town will go through shit, but nowhere else does? Kind of shit. So that's kind of how these 2 movies felt, which is crazy in and of itself. One thing I will say, I'm surprised the dad and the mom didn't come back for this movie. I was honestly surprised when
their contracts didn't renew.
Probably, but at the same time, you can't invite the parents back, but you invite the crazy fucking neighbors who are barely in the movie into this, which is interesting. But it's a twist in and of itself when it comes to that, which I find very interesting. I guess, do you like the Gremlins in this movie better than the first one? Because I did.
Yeah, I definitely did. I liked them. I liked the characters better in this one, honestly.
Also, the lightning one was surprising. Like, I liked the way that they mixed a lot of different animation with some of these, like, characters. Like, first off, there was the gargoyle gremlin. He basically looked like claymation for, like, a lot of points. And I like that they mix different mixed media with the Gremlins. It gives us a chance to kind of see how they do shit. And it kind of gives it, like, a unique feel to it. I like that they brought claymation back for the second movie. I thought that was fucking great. Honestly, like, it was so great. You also get way better character designs in this one. But like I said before, they're way more amphibian-like in this one compared to the first. And they made them actually look a lot more polished as a character, like a species aspect, than the first one. Because you could barely even tell what the fuck they were. At least in this one, you can tell the difference between a lot of them. Some of them look the same, some don't. It kind of just depends on which one you're looking at, kind of deal. But yeah, plot in this one is pretty simple like the first one, but compared to the first one, you have a lot more character-driven stuff in it, which I think is a good thing. Right, honey? Right?
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
You dozing off a little bit.
Yeah, dozing off real quick. I'm sorry.
I know it's late, but we're almost
goodness.
done. Don't worry. We're almost done. Okay. We did this really fucking late.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Sometimes you kind of have those late nights. But yeah. So we're going to rate the second movie in a second, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the supposed third one coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Because, fun fact, there is a third one coming out. But personally, I don't have too much else to say about the second movie. I honestly think it's way better than the first one. I don't care if it's a fucking parody of itself. It's still way better than the first one. This one I would rather see over the first one, in complete honesty. I would give this one an 8 out of 10. I think it's a pretty solid movie. And it makes me curious to see what the third's going to do, to be honest with you.
They're probably never going to acknowledge that this movie existed.
If they do, I'll be really fucking sad.
But
what do you give it out of 10?
I give it a 6.
You give it a 6?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not so bad. So, like we did mention before, there is going to be a third movie. Oh my gosh, there's a trailer for it. Look at what they look like! That actually looks interesting.
Okay.
Holy shit. They actually look interesting. Huh. Well, at least that's what that little thing looks like. That looks cool.
Mm.
What do you think of the picture? It looks good?
I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, there is a third movie. They don't really have a synopsis for it right now. They're basically just saying it's a sequel. So, supposedly we're getting a third movie. We don't know anything about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been confirmed that we are getting a third movie.
Okay.
And it's supposed to come out in 2027.
Mm.
It's been a very long time since the last one. The last one came out like in the 90s. So that's like over 25, 30 years since the second movie, which is insane.
I don't get it.
That's such a big
Just
fucking
let
gap.
franchises be.
I was surprised we were even getting a third one, to be honest with you.
Needs to come back. Just let franchises be.
I'm just surprised we were even getting a third one. I didn't even know we were until my friend told me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Something I hope out of the third one, I hope we get some really good, like, character designs like the second one. I also hope that the way that they make the Gremlins makes sense. I hope they're just not going to CGI them, is the one thing. Like, that's one of the things that made the other two movies unique, is that they didn't really use CGI, at least that I could tell. If they did, they made it very subtle. Make the Gremlins in different mixed medias like the other movies. As long as you're doing that, I feel like it would be a good movie. And it stays true to the franchise. Because, in a sense, it's basically going to be a trilogy soon, which is kind of nuts if you think about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who decided to make a third one or why, but I'm kind of excited to see where they go with it. It makes me wonder, like, what kind of plot they're going to do. Like, what's going to be the story kind of deal? Like, is it set, like, in the future? Is it set, like, in the past still? I don't know. But the overview does say it's supposed to be a sequel to the first Gremlins, so I don't know.
Yeah, they did completely retcon.
Even though it says, this is weird. So it says a sequel to the 1984 one, but for prequel, it says the second movie. So I don't know how they're doing that.
I don't know.
What's something you hope out of the third movie? In your opinion? I just want them to have a good story. Please don't CGI these motherfuckers. Please. Keep it at least a decent amount. Like, make them not look like shit. That's all I want. Make the Gremlins not look like shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Do you agree? He's like nodding his head, so yes. But yeah, we will be reviewing the third movie when it does come out. Whenever it does. It's gonna be like 2 years from now, which is honestly insane. So what do you rate the movies as a whole? The 2 movies that you did see? Because if I'm going to rate mine, my personal pick as a whole.
5.
You give it a 5?
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably give it, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give it like a 5.5, like 6 between that. The Gremlins franchise is one of those things to where you have to have certain tastes to be able to enjoy this to the fullest. And from a technical aspect point, I appreciate it more than an actual, like, movie. Second one is honestly better. If they make the third one like the second, I feel like it'll work. All I want is them to not make them look like shit. That's all I'm hoping for out of this third movie. Make them look good. Because we kind of need that, especially if this is taking place 25 to 30 years later for a sequel. Oh, they gotta make these guys look fucking beautiful. Like, come on. But yeah, currently we don't have much about the third movie, but I hope eventually we do get some more, like, info about it, because I would like to know what they're doing with it. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be interesting. What about you? But yeah, enough of us yapping. It's basically time for us to go to bed. Because I gotta get up fucking early in the morning. But anyway, that's basically the end for our first Christmas Palooza. We got some more movies coming up for you guys. Hoping to get everything done by Christmas. Right, honey? But yeah, it's really fucking late, so we're gonna head to bed and post this in the morning because fuck, we're tired. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out. Bye, guys!
Bye.